What's up, Internet? So I'm at my first hotel in months. Um, it's pretty good. Great rate. Cute town. Um, the guy who checked me in was nice. I'm going to be able to, shower and stuff like that. The drive was crazy. 8 hours. I've got some opinions about that drive. The place I was at, the secret place I was at, was Le Grand. Le Grand, right? Legrand was cool. I got off at Legrand and it was like blonde, 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 blonde. All girls I like. This girl and her dad were trying to talk to me about my car, right? Um, yeah. So anyway, um, yeah, I went up to this campsite up there, and they were pretty much everything was blocked off, and there was only room for like one little bit of camping. So I did that one night because I just driven 5 hours. And now I just did 8.5 hours. Um, yeah, I'm exhausted. That was tough. Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is a nightmare. The roads are really like bumpy. It's kind of like north to south, just like one like thin pencil. Like it's like here's a little green and everything's built around that. Um, like trucks driving in the fourth lane. You know what I mean? There's like the far right lane, the second right lane, the third right lane, and then the fourth lane. And trucks were camping in the fourth lane right next to the fifth lane, which is the fastest lane. So, like, these trucks with hauls, these big trucks with hauls, were driving in the fourth lane, and I'm like losing my mind. I was like, what are you doing? You can't do that. Yeah, I guess you can. They just don't care. They should all be on the right lane, right? But they're not. Or even the second lane. The third lane sometimes, but camping in the fourth lane, I'd never seen that. And there was no good reason for it. It's like a permanent 5-lane highway, and they're into the second lane from the left, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So yeah, uh, that was way weird. I didn't get stopped by anybody. I saw police maybe like 5 times. Every time they were like stopping somebody, 5 times for 8 hours. That's less than once an hour. This hotel's pretty good. It's got a great rate and it's everything I want. Like good like waterworks, clean. Um, I will save money on frills all day. Please take the TV out. You know what I mean? Um, Good AC, good fridge. Yeah. So I'll be leaving here tomorrow morning. Um, Trying to get the rest of the way back. It's a little on the hot side. Yeah, it's going to be way hot. I went this route to avoid driving through Nevada during the summer. And I saved like 10 degrees. But yeah, gas wasn't that expensive. Or Utah does this interesting thing where they got 85. Yeah, they got 85 and 88 instead of 87, 89. I'm used to 87, 89, 91. Utah is 85, 88, which is different. Um, yeah, definitely I've been like hit or miss with getting the cheapest gas. Some gas is like Maverick was advertising $3.20, and when you get there, you find out that's the ethanol, and the unethanoled version is $3.60. And I was like, got him. So yeah, um, yeah, I had like really cool manifestations too. I was listening to like Rockstar Affirmations, You Have a New Girlfriend affirmations. And I got to this place, Maverick. I like Maverick. This was the first Maverick, though. I got to this place and you hear the brakes. They're like, don't tell them because they'll try to ruin it. Nah, I got my fucking magic powers now. Yeah, my amethyst was a big deal. Um, like I had like manifestations stopping up where it was like nothing could come in and talk to me, and now I've got people talking to me again. Yeah, now I've got like casual conversations back, and people are coming up to me, you know what I mean, which was a nice difference. I didn't have that for years. It was like 5 years no one ever came up to me. Longer than that, right? Probably my whole life. I was always the one. Yeah, I think I remember that. Always in my life, I was the one initiating conversation. Never were like people coming up and starting conversation with me, but they're doing that now. But yeah, it's because of the amethyst. So I got like a bunch of DIY amethyst beads coming, and I'm gonna just like really like amethyst out. So I'm gonna like baseline amethyst before I do anything else. We'll see how that goes. Um, I'd obviously like to get some pure 24 karat gold beads. Yeah, I want to get at least one pure gold bead just for the energy, right? But yeah. So yeah, that drive. I woke up at 3:30. It was like as soon as the light hit, my alarm was set for 5. But as soon as that first light hit, I was like, I'm just awake, you know. The stars disappeared and the sky started turning light blue, and I was like, time to go. And I had my first energy drinks in very many months. I had 2 ghosts. Um, yeah, the campsite next to me had this like family with cute kids, and they were like laughing and playing. And kids are funny because kids will go from like total joy, like laughing, and then absolute crying the next second. They go back and forth, like laughing to absolute crying. And yeah, so I'm gonna get a pizza tonight. Pizza's like always when I get a hotel, I get a pizza. Yeah, I have gained some weight, but I don't really care because like I used to be like a swimmer. You know, I used to have like hip bones, and then I used to be a soldier. I used to be like jacked and buff. That didn't change how people were attracted to me. It wasn't like being that got me a ton of tail. It wasn't like girls were suddenly into me. You know what I mean? Being jacked like that, being like jacked and really buff, I probably had like 2 women ever in my life put their hands on my chest to feel me. You know what I mean? So it's like it matters just in your head. So yeah, the thing about girls is they want to get pregnant, and so if you're like insane about your midsection, they feel danger. You know, they can't get like pregnant around you, or you'll tell them to lose weight or some shit. So yeah, but I did have like way better manifestations. Like I went to this Maverick, the first Maverick, and I got out to get gas. And as I was walking around and pulled forward to the store, this family had gathered around like this like C and their fucking daughter. She wasn't too young. She was probably, this is Mormon country, by the way, so you know they're into this. Um, she had to have been like 18, you know, and they're like, this is your, it's like, it was like all these words at once, like wife, mother, you know, this is your girlfriend, you know what I mean? And but she was way cute to what I like, you know what I mean? I've interviewed a lot of guys when I was in the military. I asked a lot of guys what they find attractive. Not everyone finds the same things attractive, you know what I mean? Not every, because you got to plan on what you want to breed. What do you want your kids to look like? That's how you choose your mate, right? You choose what you want your kids to look like. So, but yeah, she was like perfect hot to like what I like. And then, of course, me being a fucking coward, I just like walk off and use the restroom. Oh, but as I parked, this like couple were there and we started talking about their car. It was really easy conversation, man. This amethyst changed my life. I've had amethyst like call to me and come into my life, but I never wore it touching my skin. And wearing it touching my skin was the big difference. Yeah, that was the big difference. So yeah. Um, yeah, I got a DIY amethyst kit coming. I'm a little worried for my vehicle because I'm going to be driving it when it's like hot as heck. But I guess for like machine heat is, you know, like what steel melts at 5,000 C. So, you know, the difference between like, um, for a machine For us, yeah, the difference between like 90 to 100 degrees is a lot. But for a machine, yeah, the thing can go all the way up to like 2,000 degrees before it cares. So, yeah, I think it'll be okay driving it tomorrow. Definitely, I was worried that there was like a stink. You know what I mean? It's like when I like floor it to go up a hill fast, I smelled like this burning thing. But I've determined that was someone else's car stinking in the same spot, right? They also do that, but their fucking shit's going out. So I think my car is fine. Yeah, I mean, like, I've owned an older car. It's not really worth it for the problems. You wanna get or lease something new because it's just gonna be hardy, right? It's not gonna have problems real easy. Usually, you know what I mean? They're rare. So I'm definitely in favor of like solar electric. It was sunny all day, right? Would have been nice. Anyway, the second manifest. I mean, it really was like they were looking right at me. She was staring right at me, and they're like, "This is your woman," right? And she was like perfect to what I like. And it was like they just incidentally did it from the fucking Matrix because I'm listening to these subliminals, right? So it's like the subliminal is like the subliminal steps past the whole like does she like me phase, and it just puts you right at having already a new girlfriend or whatever. It's been a few years for me. It's been a while. Definitely if I ever get with someone else, it'll be a like a swan mating, you know what I mean? It'd be like a permanent partner. I don't know if I want to have kids though. Yeah, it's a little loud. Holy shit, there's this giant ass truck going. I'm glad I parked so close to the curb. Delivery. Yeah, trucks, man. Truckers are heroes. Yeah, I'm really, really, really serious on AI air electric to get everyone in air vehicles. Yeah, that's something that's a really big deal for me. Um, so it would change the road setup, especially if more people have more like available hover. And the reason why is that air with enough force can lift us. And I really think that, you could streamline the roads. And then if everyone, here's how you do air traffic control is with AI. This idea that people are going to fly themselves and not crash is a dream. They're going to crash. So what you do is you have AI do like the spacing and the navigation so you don't run into each other. And then you just go faster and faster. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog, right? Gotta go fast. Yeah, like driving 8 hours, it looks like such a small distance on the map, but it ended up being like Titanic. The biggest, like, took forever, right? And I remember like I zoomed all the way out to watch the whole distance, and I was like watching like how quickly the length of time shortened, like nothing for tens of minutes, and then the pixel closer, and you're like, oh man. So yeah. I play Nikke, Goddess of Victory. Yeah, this the second chick at the second Maverick, because I say I like the Maverick gas station. I do. I like Maverick. Yeah, I've talked bad on other types of gas stations before, and I take that back. Remember my last name? I go by the name Hate, right? And so I kind of fell into it a little bit, but I was more like deliberate negativity because I saw that it was like too positive, that we needed more people to be negative so we had like a balanced view of what was going on. It was really like considerate. It was never hating to hurt. It was always hating because I was like, well, that's a voice you don't hear often, right? You were so positive. It's like, imagine it's like every battery they sell has two positive ends that wouldn't run anything, right? Maybe it'd be that's what the radiation, but maybe it'd run more things, right? But yeah. Yeah. Gonna get a pizza delivered tonight. This is just nice sitting in the AC and not driving. My car kept me crispy cool. It was like hot as hot, but I was like cool, and the engine never overheated, and I never had any problems. Yeah, that's great manufacturing. I've driven cars from the 2000s a lot. This is my first 2013, right? And I'm behind. They're releasing 2025s. Like, it's like, why do people keep buying new cars? Because they get better and better and better. For real, the cars get better and better and better. Anyway, I had like girl given to me at the first Maverick. Of course I like ignored her. My whole thing is that if you know me and really want to be with me, you gotta like go past the subliminal illusion and be like, I'm so and so, where are you going? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna like change my day just because it seems like something happened. I used to. In my 20s I would have, but now that I'm in my 30s I just care less. But yeah, you get to see me with my hat off. It's not often. This is my high school hairline. I always had this like high top and sides. Yeah, I've always had that shape head. It's just the way I look. I'm a little gray, not too bad. I don't dye it at all, you know. I used to be blonde, right? And then it like changes over time. So that's what you get for having a blonde mom and a black-haired dad, is it kind of your body picks either sometimes. So yeah. But yeah, the second chick, she was like big in the front, you know, and she was wearing overalls, and it was really cute. Like when I stopped to get gas, she was driving away, and then she did a loop and came back and got out and was photographing like a tree, but it was clearly me. And I was like, wow. But yeah, she was way cute. She was another like, she was like, the first one was probably like, would have been really hot for me when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? But the second one was hot for me now. I was like, wow, that's a good looking woman. She was stacked, and she wasn't like fat. She was like just like out here and in overalls, right? So it's like, yeah, she was a cute one. Yeah, I got lucky twice, and like I said, like the third time I stopped 3 times ago was at Walmart, and it was hot blonde, hot blonde, hot blonde, hot blonde. Dude with money, dude with money. See, dudes with money are fine because they can help you out if they like you, right? So yeah, my manifestations are back. I had like this closed down manifestation where I couldn't get anything I wanted to happen. And then I put amethyst on, and it's been like way different. Amethyst is special. Amethyst does psychic protection. You know, I've had obsidian, and obsidian, you know, it's like, I don't stub my toes. I don't get in car accidents. I don't fucking have major problems, right? That's obsidian. Nobody's stabbed me. That's obsidian. Yeah, it protects from like real negativity. But like a psychic attack would be like, which is what amethyst does, would be like, you're no good. Or, you know, just like having no one able to come up to you. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, wearing amethyst has been like a major game changer. I've never worn it on my skin. I've had amethyst and organites, which, by the way, I should like make more organites to give people. Like, it'd be really nice to give like this motel, get them an organite I made for their counter. They would like that. Maybe I'll look later for my stuff. See if I can get it to them. Yeah, I gotta find my molds, and then I gotta find. Yeah, I don't know if I have the crystals to do it right now. Right before I left, all my crystal jars broke. I dropped them on the ground, so I just left like a pile of shattered glass. You know, I'll always take care of the people that take care of me, but you know, you can. I'm called judgment proof. You can go to court and get a judgment against me, and I will literally never pay. And that's 80% of it. 80% of all judgment money has never been collected. Like, I try to take care of people who take care of me, but you can cross certain lines where I like don't feel like I have to honor that anymore. You know what I mean? One of them is circumcising people. The other one is like doing really bad things to mess with me, right? Like, I was minding my business and people went out of their way to get a laugh at my expense. So I was like, yeah, I don't need to take care of your stuff anymore. So, not saying I know anyone now like that, but yeah, it's good for contrast. You know, it is like you can have really good experience after good experience, but that negative experience really like gives you a new like, this is what could happen, right? But yeah, I was super lucky. Like, it's that amethyst I'd have like girls I like manifestations, but nothing tangible at me. right? Nothing being given to me, no matter how many like affirmations I used, or like, not saying I necessarily want a girlfriend. Obviously, I want money first. Um, Money and technology. That's one of the things I'm manifesting is like supreme tech, like objects energy from nowhere. Yeah. Because it's like when you're smart with manifestation is like a dumb manifester is like, I live to old age. No, 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 no. A smart manifester is I never get old, right? That's the smart manifester. That's the thinker. You know, definitely you don't want to make problems with your manifestations. You want them to be kind of pure, and that's why they just go with like, just say you're happy, because you're happy covers like anything that could cause happiness, right? So yeah. Now this hotel's pretty clean. It's cheap. It's like quiet, quiet-ish. That was the loudest thing there was. There's a store right next to me, and they got a delivery. That was the loudest thing there was. But yeah. No, I'm pretty happy. It's like feels good to be like 8 hours closer to my destination. It's about to start raining, and I'm gonna be there in time to pick up some cool amethyst. Other things, I haven't done any tattoos in a while. The last tattoos I did were like a year ago. I like tattooing, but I like was brutalizing myself. I was going way too hard. You really do. It's kind of interesting. You just kind of have to gently graze the surface. Yeah, you don't have to like puncture and push into it. It's not about going deep. It's not. You can. It'll hurt a lot, right? If your tattoo hurts, they're just torturing you because they can. It doesn't have to hurt. Um, so yeah, this place was super nice. I'll say where it was when I leave. Um, I just can't. I can't have people coming up messing with me. You know, I have to be gone before I tell them where I'm at. It's just for my safety, right? But yeah, the last place I was in was Le Grand, and you're gonna find that there's like a lot of hot blondes there. There was when I went there. Maybe I had every hot blonde in the city, right? So yeah, I'm too hip fire negative recently. It's like one side of it's like social responsibility, not to be like too dreamy positive to keep it grounded. But another one is like, is it really my job to do that for everyone all the time? Can I have something too? Right? Can I have a good time? And that's really where I'm going with it. Yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be my first shower in 2 months. Yeah, I haven't showered. I haven't showered since I left my old apartment. And, you know, it's really true that if you work up a sweat and you move around, it just like falls off you, and there's a new layer of fresh skin underneath. So, yeah. Our ancestors didn't shower every day until like really recently. It wasn't something we all did all the time, right? So yeah. No, I'm liking it. It's gonna be cool. What else are we doing? Uh, Good. Yeah, I got everything in. Yeah, there it is. I got the bag I needed in, and I got it. Yeah. Um, I'm super excited for getting more amethysts. Like, it's just like I used to have trouble getting like a direct delivery I wanted, right? It'd be like I'd be manifesting and I'd be like, where is it? And it would be like unattainable, or there'd be a problem with it. And now it's just being given to me like right in my face, right? Oh, here you go. You wanted exactly this. Well, it wants you to. And that's kind of like, that was a breakthrough success I hadn't had, is I was not getting that level of success before. And it's probably because of amethyst. Like, I was under psychic attack. I don't know if it was the government, a past life, a rival. I got the sense it was a guy who hated me, and it was like a long term, like, this person can never have anything, right? And I don't know why it's like someone else can do that to you, but maybe they just are like, you know, it's kind of like how the Sith always beat the Jedi. The Sith beat Jedi in martial combat, because they just focus on power and the Jedi focus on like all these other facts of being people. And it's the same thing with like black magic or dark magic, is that it's like dark magic and black magic is really effective against someone who's willing to try hard and forgive, right? They don't have a lot of natural protections against that. So, yeah, amethyst. I've owned amethyst. I've had amethyst in organites, but it was putting it on my body, touching it. And then I had a dream about that purple and white potion. I didn't have any dreams last night because I only slept like 5 hours. So as soon as I woke up at 3:30, I was out. I was just driving out of there. And I'm glad my car didn't have any issues. It like I floored it uphill a couple times, and that smell didn't come back right. Yeah, this stinky ass guy. I thought it was my car. I was like, oh no, my car's dying due to this horrible smell. I go passing him and he flips me off. But he's like caked red, like he's driving like an old Ford truck, and he's like obviously burned up. And yeah. But yeah, Salt Lake City was a really bad drive. It's just the road is super craggy. It's really tense. I mean, there's obviously worse cities. Las Vegas is similar. LA is similar. But like La Grande is out in the middle of nowhere. You could not live in La Grande unless you have like savings or you had retired, or, there's just no way to afford it. There's no job out there. They've got a cute train yard too. La Grande from like at night is really cute. It was a good city. I like La Grande. Maybe it's La Grande. I almost went north and east and like took the river, but the reason I didn't is that I looked at like Lolo, and Lolo it would be just as hot as like where I am now. So I was like, there's no point. I'll just go right home. So yeah, tomorrow I'll be doing another similarly lengthed drive, which is tough to believe, but it's going to be like probably tougher. Hope it's cooler. But yeah. And then hopefully I get there like after my Amazon packages get there, so I could leave late and it wouldn't bother me. And then I got to figure out a place to camp. Yeah, I drove with my lights on last night. First time I've ever done that. They all work. I never drive at night. You know what I mean? I always go during the day. I have a lot of reflectors on my car. My car is very shiny and unique. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. All that. I'm still trying to get it's like chick I might like, but I still have to like introduce myself to and do all that. I'm not too into. I've just lived too long, and I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want someone I like to like me first, right? Same thing with money. Like, I could go get a job, or I could have a rich family member hand me down some, dinero, which would be way better. Oh yeah, someone you didn't know died and left it all to you. That would be awesome, right? That's kind of what I want to manifest. I've worked hard before. I've talked to girls before. I've done all these things to date women. I've dated women who didn't know who I was, who I went up to and talked to, right? I'm tired of that. I want to manifest somebody that I like, who likes me and puts in the work, right? I've done jobs to make money. I want a freaking money to come to me for no reason. That's what I really want. So, yeah. So yeah, this amethyst has been helping, because I was like in a freaking like repulsion zone where I just was not able to get things to come up and like offer themselves to me, and I have it time after time after time now. So it's really that amethyst. So yeah, I need to get some food. I'm getting hungry. Did not eat today. Yeah, this place isn't bad. It's good on the cheap side, and I need to use that shower. Yeah. use that shower. I got my buckets. I'm gonna just like rinse off some of my clothes. I wore one pair of clothes for the 2 months. I ain't that dirty. No one ever says anything, you know. Can you tell? You can't tell looking at it. So, can you tell? You can't tell looking at it. So, can't be that bad. Who is that? What is that noise? But yeah, super excited for like amethysting up. I'm gonna have like a lot of pieces of amethyst. Like that little bit changed my life. I'm gonna be with a lot of it. So yeah, it's that like I had the physical protection, you know, the obsidian. I wasn't getting in car accidents. I wasn't getting fines. I wasn't, you know, hurting myself. I wasn't having bad things happen to me physically, right? That's like obsidian. The real evil will miss you. But I was still having like incidental problems like repulsion zone or, you know, like that whole psychic attack thing is like, you know, it also helps with like calm. So yeah, being calm definitely helps. But yeah, I'm gonna do like amethyst. I am. I was resisting being chakra bracelet man, but I'm giving in to the chakra bracelet man calling because yeah, I met this chick. She's like, she was driving an RV. She's like, "You're the coolest person I've seen all day." She just asked me out. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's not all about that, but it makes life better to live, right? So yeah, one of the things I'm manifesting for everyone is, of course, new tech. I want people who live forever for free. They can fly. You know, they have easy energy, easy objects. These like hewn by steel and driving on explosions. You know, oh man, Salt Lake City, Utah, that main street is covered with car debris. There's like bumpers and, you know, blown tires and like all this crap lining that road, just left there from accidents, right? Every few feet is like a kunk 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 kunk, right? Horrible. It'd be way better if people could fly, right? All we're looking for is an easy source of energy and like the ability to, um, yeah, an easy source of energy that can be amplified. You're going to have like a whole new tech, right? Or even better, anti gravity. It may be iron. Iron may be the secret to it. Um, it's in the synchronistic alignment, right? So anyway, yeah, I need to get some new or some food. But yeah, I'm gonna sleep good. I'm gonna have a nice freaking nap. That's not too loud. It'll quiet up by the nighttime. I got earplugs anyway. I got the good earplugs. But yeah, this is a lot better than trying to like pull off and park in a mountain while I'm driving. I would have ended up going all night too, right? I would have ended up like just starting the second 8 hours now. I got another 8 hours tomorrow. So that was tough. That was tough driving. I mean, like, I was kind of glad I started early, like starting driving at like 3:34. Nobody's on the road. By the time it's noon, stuffed. So I think I'm gonna start late tomorrow because I need to get there after my deliveries, and then I'm gonna, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll start late, but yeah, I had like just crazy stops. I had that one Maverick stop, and I got out and filled it up. And then as I was driving forward, like this family made like this like offering, and then there's this girl standing there, And they're like, this is your woman, this is your future mom. And I was like, hot. She was like laughing about it too. It was like, that looks exactly like who I'd want to. Pretty close. And then the next one was like, was gonna leave and then stayed and then was obviously staying for me. And she was like mega stacked, like freaking very plump in front. And so both good signs. But I'm really like, I want her to contact me, right? I could like go anywhere, be with anyone, and I really want you over and over. That's a good sign, right? Maybe I've been hurt before. Maybe that's the problem. Something amethyst would also help with. Maybe one day I'll move to like rose quartz, but I don't know. I'm thinking about just doing like a full amethyst first. Yeah. Feels good to yap. Thanks for listening. Yeah, that was a long ass drive, but my car had held it together. The freaking, the air was cool. The car temp was good. No smells. No no shit. It's kind of like it's a 4-cylinder, so it's a little. It's also got a similarly small amount of gears. It doesn't have a lot of like high finesse gears. You kind of just like have a few to choose from, but most of them do pretty good. Yeah. That driving situation though is like, it's gonna be legendary when people can just fucking float anywhere at high speed. It's like you had to fucking roll on steel vehicles and drove around on explosions. You know what I mean? That's insane. That's crazy. Yeah. So that'll be legendary. Just the way they roar, the way the cars roar. I hope your flying tech is like really sublime and like maybe it sounds cool or it's quiet. I hope it's not just like bigger bangs. That's such just like, how did the apes fly? Explosions. Holy shit. That is fucking crazy. But yeah. I wish I was manifesting girls I liked, back when I was a teenager. That would have been nice. And I did it the hard way in my 20s by like asking them out. And then like the manifestation is the easiest way. Just meditate, focus, change like your thoughts. But maybe it was like, obviously I have way more success now using amethyst. The amethyst has just made me a lot luckier. It makes fewer rejections and more like things drawn toward me instead of just around me, because that was the thing, is I was manifesting things around me but never to me. I guess that's the way to put it. And now it's like to me, to me, to me, to me, to me every time. So yeah, it's pretty good. I do want a hot ass partner I like, I want a partner who's hotter than me because I'm going to do my kids a service. Some people go modest, humble. Some people want them to be like humble looking because it doesn't draw jealousy, right? It's about character or whatever. That's fine for some people. It's not fine for me. I need to have like the absolute hottest woman, if like these 78-year-olds can date 30-year-olds, I can pull off a banger. So yeah, just working on love and money. And definitely it's like I didn't have problems with those, but it was like I needed the amethyst. Someone was psychically attacking me. I don't think it was me. I think it was some like enemy I didn't know I had. Like the government or Satan or, a demon someone hired. Something was out to get me, and I was never winning or successful until I had this. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely like make it. This is too tight, so I'm getting more of this sized bead, and I'm gonna remake it a little bigger for me. And then I'm gonna get like bigger sized ones, like 8mm, and then I'm gonna eventually get like 10mm, and I'm gonna wear all that. So just for, mind your business. Maybe I'll get like a cool amethyst earring. That would be unique. I've never had my ears pierced, but it'd be interesting to have like, it'd be interesting to have like a real gold amethyst earring. That would be interesting. real gold amethyst, and then real gold. My mom said she can't wear gold. It's like weird, right? Weird. I just remembered that my mom had a gold allergy. I think maybe she was making it up because she knew, right? But yeah. But I'm gonna get like maybe another one will be a diamond because that might be like effective protection, right? Pure gold amethyst earring. Obviously, the best would be to make it. Yeah. Maybe even just like pierce it and then put like an amethyst spike. Right? No gold, just pure amethyst. Anyway, I've yapped enough. This is my special hotel day. So I'm going to be able to chill here tonight. And I'm going to get a pizza. Going to work on recharging all my batteries. And yeah, I took all my crayons inside so they don't melt. It's a little hot outside. And then, yeah, that's it. Pretty happy. It's a good spot. Yeah, it was way better to stop here than like look for a spot while I'm passing through and it's 90. Like 90 degrees. I do not want to be looking for a spot with no trees, right? I would have just been like driving till I collapsed. But now I get to rest and start again tomorrow and wash up. Yeah, I was feeling good when I was driving over here. I was thinking, I don't feel bad at all. I feel so clean, right? But now I'm going to get like uber clean, way cleaner. So hopefully, like, um, some more of those juicy manifestations come. Yeah, those are juicy manifestations. The blondes at Walmart were cute-ish. It's like they're manifesting, knowing I'm going to walk away, right? And then the girl with her family was like ridiculous. It was like she was facing right at me with like a thing behind her, and they said it, and I was like, wow. And then the last one was like this absolutely big in the melons blonde who was like gonna drive away and turned around and was like photographing near me, right? Photographing things around me. I was like, okay, yeah. So yeah, I've interviewed a lot of guys. Not all guys like the same thing. I definitely like blondes with light eyes and like huge boobs. Some people are like ass dudes. They want to have like tons of butt, but me, it's like I love the milkers. It's my favorite thing. It is. I even like cheese too. I'm like, would I make human cheese? Probably. Yeah, you want your woman has a snack. You want to get rid of that. You want to get rid of that? That's weird to me. That's weird to me. I'll live, please, but not in too much. I don't like it. It's so weird. You know what I mean? So yeah. But yeah, my car made it. It made it pretty good. So hopefully by this time tomorrow, I'll be just a couple hours into my next trip, and I'll be getting in my hometown just in time to pick up the packages, and then I'll be finding a fucking campsite. I'm really big on like traveler circles. I think you should have like, a roundabout circle with toilets and maybe even a shower, and make it for like people who live in their cars that they can stop, because it's like a little too much to like rent out a spot. To have nothing is very unfriendly. It'd be exactly like the idea of a rest stop except to stay the night, right? I'd be totally down with that. Let AI watch it so you make sure nothing's happening. But yeah. No, that was a good day. That was a good day. That was everything I wanted. Yeah, that's the miracle of manifestation, is you don't have to be worthy of it. If you manifest it right, it'll just come. So, yeah. Amethyst. amethyst. It was always getting cold. I was always like about to get it, but I'd always had like, I'd never wore it. Right? I never put it on my skin. So now I'm like, put it on your skin. Let it completely touch your skin. Just having it on a desk isn't good enough. Yeah, this one lady was like, amethyst, you can just have it in a corner, put it on a necklace, put it on your desk. And then she doesn't mention the psychic protection. And I'm like, that's the secret, is that she doesn't know what it's really for. And she's not touching it, which is what you need. You need to touch it. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's my vlog. That's how the trip was. What were some other things I wanted to say? Yeah, what the fuck is going on with, I visited that one famous in the middle of the nowhere gas station with all the, like, alpaca. Yeah, there's like a petting zoo gas station that's, like, really expensive. They're charging $4.10 for, like, their lowest gas, while a place 20 miles away is charging $3.10, right? A whole dollar difference. And they're like, but there's the alpacas. And they say of the alpaca, they're dumb as a post. They're like, our animals are dumb as posts. And I was like, is that who you're selling gas to? You know, it's just a rip-off gas station. So I'm going to go back and leave them a bad review. This hotel's getting a good review so far, but I'm going to go back to that gas station and leave them a bad review for being a rip-off. I'm going to say exactly where they should go instead. But yeah, that's been my trip so far. Fucking 8 hours of driving since 3:30 in the morning. I'm fucking tired. But, yep, I'm halfway closer to home, and I have my first hotel in 2 months. This will be the first shower I've taken since I moved out. It's going to be a good one. Yeah. And then next, it's going to be a monsoon season. It's going to be raining. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to my manifestation stories. I know what I want will happen, right? Yeah, it's like me initiating, someone else initiating with me, someone I like. Imagine it's like the hottest girl I've ever met or seen that I like, right, is coming up to me and asking me out. That's the one. I have to initiate, yeah, I can work for money. I could take a loan. I could play the lotto. But what if it just appeared, right? What if it was just like a lawyer called me like, hey, someone left you a massive inheritance we'd like you to collect. That would be awesome. That would be what I deserve. And we're in the manifestation age, right? So that's not possible until I do it. And then it's over. So yeah. But I'm also hoping people will fly soon, live forever for free, have like way better vehicles than steel and explosions. Driving around in steel explosion machines, that shit's crazy. It'd be way better if they could fly costlessly, right? And then if it's like organized by a computer so they never crash. Imagine how fast that'd be if you could just like, gotta go fast, right? There's no limit. You just go faster and faster and faster until you get there, right? Yeah, that'd be awesome. Soon. That's definitely the goal. The goal is we manifest some like really smart geeks come up with some really good ideas. That's what we're going for. So anyway, yeah, thanks for listening. I've heard 3 cycles of my AC since I was talking, so yep, I'm gonna get some pizza. It is pizza o'clock. Pizza the Hut. Anyway, bye-bye.